some of that money also went to paying for the materials for, you know, the effigy and all that. Like that effigy shot cost us $1,000.
Yeah, so actually
$1,000
speaking about that, I mean, A, I was shocked that you guys did that, like, for real. But B, how did you guys go
It's
about
not even
that?
plot relevant. It just looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You just made it
I
up?
literally came up with it when I was like, so where that begins is like kind of funny, I guess, but like, as a writer, I think you need tools for brainstorming, and one of my tools is video games. Whenever I'm finished like a large chunk of work, I usually play a video game, and it has to be a video game that inspires me. I think the last one that I played was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which, God, that's such a good game, even if it's busted as hell. And like, one of the ones that I like to play the most if we're like planning out something like Overlord is, I think I played Ghost Recon Wildlands, which isn't a great game or anything, but it's sort of like, I could just sort of walk around in that space and just think about shit. And I remember like, there's a photo mode in it where you can just like, you know, detach the camera and go take pictures of stuff. And I'd like shot down a helicopter and there was the fire in the background. And there was just like a windmill or something in the background as well. And it had that sort of rural aesthetic that we were doing for Overlord. And I was like, man, what if we got a shot like that for Overlord? And then I just sort of tried to figure out an excuse to get a shot like that in Overlord. And then that led to the effigy, and we were like, okay, well, what's the effigy gonna be? And I'm like, okay, well, like, we sort of had to retrofit it. And I think the effigy was Steven's idea, like the actual look of it.
Yeah, because what I had to work with was the triangle and the Venn diagram, like the 3 circles. So I had this thought that since the anomaly at the end was the tentacles holding people, and I kind of thought, like, you know, like, what if it was, you had the triangle on top of this one single plane, which is like our reality, and then underneath it you had all of these spokes coming off, and they're all like all these little stick people are kind of hanging off, and that just kind of is a little bit like a subtle like foreshadowing to the end on how they're floating.
Okay.
And originally I was like, oh yeah, let's just use dowel rods. And then when I took it to my production designer, she's like, well, so how big do you want this to be? I'm like, let's make it like 12 feet tall and 10 feet wide. Like, this thing was gigantic. God. Like, it doesn't look that big on camera, but it was huge in person. and she was like, okay. And she built it like out of like, there were 2x4s, like 2 of them like put together. Like it was a thick effigy, and she made it in different, I think it was 4 pieces, and everything was like pre-drilled and everything, so all we had to do was just take lag bolts and just assemble it.
Okay. Yeah.
And we put it together in like 30 minutes, and then we wrapped it in burlap, soaked it in diesel the day before, came back the next day, hosed it down with diesel again, and then kerosene, and then because kerosene for the accelerant, because diesel has a very low flash point.
Don't use gasoline.
Yeah, do not use gasoline. And we had a firefighter consult us
Seriously,
for this.
potential
too.
pyrotechnic filmmakers, dude, just don't fucking use gasoline. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
I've seen gasoline explode before because somebody wanted to use it to accelerate a fire, and it literally exploded, and it wasn't that much gasoline.
Yeah.
So just don't do it.
Because diesel, it's the liquid that's flammable, not the fumes like gasoline. And
okay.
when we had Basan, the character Basan, his real name's John. He's actually a firefighter and an EMT, and we were asking questions prior to shooting, like, hey, what if we mix diesel and kerosene for the accelerant, and then diesel for it to burn hot and long? And he's like, yeah, that would work. And I said, great. And kept it isolated, the whole area. We raked all the dead grass out of the way, and we had the whole area like we wet it down because there was this little pond right next to it. So we made sure that area was completely wet, and then we lit it with a blowtorch. Took like seconds, and then our pyrotechnics guy ran out of the way, and then
It's so fast that you can see it actually still trying to like subsume the effigy. Like you can see it like clearly in an early burn in the shot because it just went so quick.
Wow.
Yeah. And
some people noticed that.
What I think it's kind of cool though, because it kind of shows like how they like could have just have missed Pender lighting the effigy as he would be like running back. So I was okay with that. And the what else was there? Yeah, and it was like a 40-second shot. And then everyone showed up with fire extinguishers and put it out, and that was it. one shot.
Oh, wow.
There's
No
only,
retakes,
there's only
nothing.
one digital enhancement with it, which is the embers.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
Clay did.
I had a feeling because I was like, those embers look too perfect.
Yeah, but they're pretty though. I like
They're nice,
Sorry,
yeah.
they were too perfect for you.
Because, like, I hate being a pain in the ass, like, backseat director, but when I saw the shot, I was like, man, we need to add some more shit in the frame. And
Yeah,
I hate
like-
saying that because everybody's like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Because I remember I sent it, like, because our buddy Chad was there. He was there doing BTS and, like, just assisting me with personal stuff. And he sent the shot to Evan, and then the feedback I get is, I don't like it. We're like, all right, well, this is what we have. Sorry.
So
To be
like,
fair, he sent me one still, and it was, like, a bit awkward.
okay, it's just 'cause
Oh,
the way
okay,
it was
he didn't tell me
freeze framed
that.
or something.
Alright.
I didn't actually see it in motion.
Okay. All right. He didn't specify that.
That's fair. That's fair.